What year was that? That was 2016?
This is 2014.
2014?
Okay.
Yeah, and two of my uncles on my mom's side moved to Dubai over 65 years ago. And so they're like...
So before the country was even
Before,
founded.
yeah, so they're local. So you know how there's two categories of locals. There's ones that have the Emirati passport,
Yep.
and there's one that have the Emirati passport and the family card.
Yeah, the family book.
Yeah, the family
Those
book.
are the OGs.
The OGs, yeah.
yeah.
So even though my uncles were Palestinian, they still...
They got the
They
family.
got the family book because
Okay.
they brought them in when they first formed the country.
So they got the family book. All their kids are born here. They're all locals. You know what I mean? So I've been coming here for a long time, but I finally made the move in 2014. And how I made that move was crazy, man. I was on tour with Kevin Hart, who's a good friend of mine.
Okay.
And we were in South Africa, and he was like, yo, we just got booked in Abu Dhabi, so let's go over there.
That was his first time here, right?
His first time, yeah.
Okay.
I think that was like 2015, I
yeah,
think, right?
I went to that concert.
Yeah.
That was dope.
It was outdoors.
Yeah.
And so we fly here from Cape Town, and we're in Abu Dhabi. We're staying at the same Regis in Saudi, and then he did a show. We all hung out. We had a great time, and then it was like, all right, we're going to the airport. And I'm like, nah, I'm staying here, bro. He's like, what do you mean you're staying here? I was like, bro, just have them extend the room for one more day,
Yeah.
and then I'll stay here for another day. Then I'm gonna make my way to Dubai and see what I'm gonna do, you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, all right. So they all left. I stayed in Abu Dhabi one other night, and then came to Dubai, and then never looked back since.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you left Michigan. You were on a tour with Kevin Hart. You stayed in Abu Dhabi. What was your plan then? Like, did you have any sense of what you wanted to do?
So I called the medical company and I said, hey, listen, because the devices I had, it was like to prevent amputation. It's called, it was a device for PAD, for peripheral artery disease. So like all the patients that are like obese, high cholesterol, diabetic, that got blockages in their arteries, you know, in their legs. And what it is that my device would open up the artery to you know, so to give them blood flow to the foot, so it could prevent like amputation, gangrene, all that stuff, you know. So, and here's like the top 10 countries in the world for diabetes is like 8 out of the top 10 is like the Middle East. You know,
You guys love your sweets, man.
yeah, you know, and just
I love it too.
they don't really like exercise.
Yeah, it's
They
hot
just
out
love
here,
to
you know what I
eat.
mean?
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so I told him, I said, listen, man, I think you should look into this side of the world. You know, the whole UAE is probably like the size of Texas. It's not going to affect you guys. Why don't you give me the rights for the device and let me take it over? And so they gave me the rights, and I came down here and I started, and that's when I'm the one that, you know, sorry, I didn't mean to cut off, but got interrupted.
No. Go ahead.
So I think I'm gonna need more than 8 minutes.
Yeah, no. Running.
So I did that. I came here and I started training all the doctors here that are cardiologists with my device. Mm-hmm. And the problem is that these doctors, like, they like to stick to their ways. They don't like to use new technology and stuff like that. So, and then I saw how hard healthcare was here compared to the U.S. with the billings and the insurances and all of this. And like, they wanted everything on consignment. And these devices are super expensive. I'm like, I can't just give it to you on consignment and wait 120 days to get paid. So I tried that for 2 years. It wasn't working. But in those 2 years, I saw how big entertainment was here. And I was just like, okay, let me get my new business. It's gonna be entertainment.
Yeah.
Back to my streets, but it's the halal way.
And
The
the
culture,
halal,
you know what I mean? So, and then I started working with my first client was this local family, Belhassa family. I'm the one that founded the kid Money Kicks.
Oh, okay.
I gave him the name Money Kicks. I'm the one that took him to America for the first time in his life. I ended up taking him like 8 times.
Okay.
I'm the one that introduced him to Fat Joe. I'm the one that introduced him to Khaled.
Yeah.
All of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I saw myself like managing a teenager, and I was like, man, this ain't for me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't come here to manage a teenager, you know?
Yeah.
And once again, I was making a lot of money, you know? And then I was like, you know what? The whole city saw what I did for this kid. So like, I was getting a lot of like people approach me like, yo, can we do this? Can we do that? So I was like, you know what? So I started my own company called Invite Only. And I just started, you know, brokering deals from the U.S. to here, you know? And
To bring acts here.
acts, campaigns, events, and just started to, and then it just never stopped, you know?